Assalamu alaikum. Come on, you can do better than that. Assalamu alaikum. Yeah, much better. So honored to be here on TEDxAjman. Very proud of this great opportunity. Thank you so much for coming here. Let me start with a question. How many of you is deciding on traveling to Europe or America or Asia during this coming summer? Awesome. Is everybody going for vacation or anybody going there for business? Mix. Those who've been to America before, can you raise your hand? Keep it up. Have you attended an intercultural awareness workshop about America? Nobody. Did you attend a course that is titled USA Cultural Awareness Session? So why is it today each Emirati and each Arab that his country is growing so fast with the great number of expats that visits it keeps complaining about the number of expats in the city, keeps complaining about how many expats we have coming to this region? I speak to my friends and they look at me and say, Ali, what's happening in the country? You must tell everybody. There's a lot of expats coming. I'm like, what do you mean that there's a lot of expats, coming to the country? What's wrong with that? He's like, we're losing our own identity. Back to the same word, identity. Identity. Tell me, my friend, you think because the number of expats are growing in the United Arab Emirates, you're losing your identity? He's like, yes, Ali. Okay. Let's just assume that we've invited all of our own expat friends somewhere else, like to Oman or Qatar or Bahrain, and said, just stay there for 3 nights, please. We will invite you back. Let's just stay with each other here, Emiratis. Ahmed, are you willing to put gas for my car when I come at 12 o'clock p.m.? Isa? You know how my Kandora needs to be ironed, correct? The question is, just think here for 1 second. If we basically not get rid, but if we say to all of the expats, thank you, don't come, are we really able to function all of our daily life? So the question is, if the expat number, and by the way, expats means a lot of things. We could assume that expats are all of the laborers, expats are the people that come from Europe, the expats that are coming from America, the expats are coming from Asia. But the truth is, about a week ago, the newspapers have put the new statistics of the United Arab Emirates population, 8 million living in the UAE. And only 900, less than 1 million is Emiratis. And how many British do you think we have in the UAE? Because we all know the English language comes from UK, correct? I hope so, right? It's English. If we ask all the British people, thank you, don't come, it's about 100,000. Fine, so no more British people. American people, less than 100. The rest of Europe, they will come all together. We only have about 500,000 to 1 million maximum. So how could a small number like that who speaks English, and we're speaking the language right now, can influence 1 million person in the UAE? And then we complain about it. It doesn't make sense to me. The problem is we've allowed it. We've allowed to be influenced by the Westerners more than we can influence them positively. And by the way, we've learned great things from the Westerner community in our own country. One of them is the language that I'm speaking right now. But at the same time, unfortunately, a lot of us complain every day about the number of expats. And when I look at these people, I tell them, are you aware of your values? Are you aware of being, first of all, being an Emirati, you're a Muslim. Being an Emirati, you're an Arab. Being an Emirati, you have an identity that looks like this. Dear brother, dear sister, if you're complaining about expats being in the country, look at yourself first. Are you behaving like an Emirati? And to be as an Emirati, you're open about accepting other people that is coming to the UAE. Because when this country was founded, when the United Arab Emirates was founded, the first thing that our leaders did is inviting the great teachers, scientists, doctors to come and support our own country. Do you agree or not? If you're in the generations of the 70s and the 80s, you would know that you've actually studied by a Palestinian, by a Jordanian, by an Egyptian, by a Moroccan, by Lebanese, by people from the Arab region, but we've never complained. And the question is why? We did not complain because we sort of share the same values. We share somehow the same faith. So we did not see that as a problem. Although I come from a place like Bani Yas in Abu Dhabi. And that place, to so many places around the world, like we will be making fun of each other. We will be making fun of the person whose mother comes from another country. And they will be teasing you all the way. And that was not really how the UAE was. We all lived among each other without any issues, without any problems. The country became where it is today because we welcomed everybody to it. So now allow me to tell you, if you have never attended a USA cultural awareness, and you're going to complain about the number of the expats here, then maybe you should say the following. And maybe you should really consider the following. Between understanding, you want people to understand you, correct? When you travel, you want people to know what you like and what you don't like, correct? All right. You want people to appreciate you. How many of you really hate to be appreciated? Raise your hand if you don't like someone to appreciate you. No one. All what we want is to be appreciated. But the challenge is, how can you be appreciated if you're not accepting each other? Between understanding and appreciation, there is a middle word, starts with an A. Acceptance. Don't fool yourself by saying, I do understand why the Brits do this. I understand why the Americans like this. I know why the Arabs, they have the woman walks behind the man in the mall. I understand why, because, only of this and this and that. That's not enough. Many people every day come to me and say, Ali, I've been living in your great country for about 20 years. I love your country so much. But only if we can let the women take off their hijab, that would be just the best thing for them. You've lived here for 20 years. Every day you hear Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, God the Great, God. You are in a Muslim country for 20 years and you're still fighting that we are putting the women in hijab. Why are you here for 20 years? I know why you're here, because it's safe. And hijab is part of it.